Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a new video in the Thuluth script. Today's video we are going to continue with the letter Ha, and we will see how it looks like in the middle of the word when it comes in the middle. So for this letter it is going to be interesting because we have several shapes. The first one would be the one that we see usually in Naskh, and for that one we will need 3 points of height, 2 points of drop, and the width of this letter would be 1.5 points. But again, these 1.5 points are just governing points, like a reference point. We start with the first move, which will be down from here, outside the 1.5 and outside the 2. What we're going to do, we're going to go back downward, just like this. There's no much curvature here, it's quite slightly straightish. Meanwhile, this one this is the first move. Number 1 goes down, number 2 goes back up, and number 2 is quite curvy. And when we rotate, we go back up, we reach up to this point, and we do a slight move like this, but it's really like not visible. You can see it's barely visible here. And we stop just before it because the lower part is extruded more than the higher part. Now this is the first one, the second one, the third one, which was going up to here. The fourth one would be going down and starting going in from the second top point. So go down and you start going inside from that point. So you will have a visible part for the first move. Another note about this move is that it is curvy this way, so you will see these curves when you write it. I'm exaggerating it here so that you know what move I'm talking about. So if you went back, you would do 1, then 2, going up towards 3, coming back with 4. You can see how this is more going outside than that one, and the negative space here, you'll see that this one is curvier than the first move. Now, mind you, this comes in the middle, so basically what happens is that you've got this letter coming from before the Ha, and you stop here, and this is where you start your move. So you go back, rotate and up, then back. So this has to be visible, and this is where you initiate it. So you need a nice long distance so that you will have the distance for the lower part and some distance for the letter that comes before the letter Ha. I believe that this Ha is the most generic. It is the go-to whenever you wanted to use the letter Ha. But yeah, the other shapes we will look into now, they have certain uses. You can't use them everywhere. Some of them you need a letter that is connecting to the Ha from the top. And yeah, let's see those ones. We'll start with an open one. So for this one, you have to come from a letter that connects from the top. So for example, Ba, you have this shape of a Ba that goes this way. What other letters that connect from the top? You could have a Jim, for example, a Jim that can connect this way. So you see this move, you're going downward rather than upward. So this can connect to this Ha. Now, it is a 4-point Ha. What happens is that the lower part of it is 2 points, and you will find that it looks something similar to a letter that we talked about before. So you drop down for 2 points. You stop, and you're going to leave 1 point here, so that when you come back up, and again here you have to go curve this way, Then once you reach to this point, you're going to curve the other way around. I hope it's clear. This is not a meme. The letter meme that we saw before, the meme goes back really sharp. It is more of a flat surface. Meanwhile, here you see how standing it is. So there is a huge difference between the hat and the meme. And over here, yeah, you could just continue with anything. Imagine that we have a jim or ha or a ha. But yeah, this is the hat. Starts from here and ends around here. Alright, I hope it's clear. The next one is similar to this one. The only difference is that we add another closing move to it. So we have our first move, which is going downward. As we said, this connects from above. And from here, you've got your 2 points of drop, which is the hat we're talking about. You go down, you stop here. And for this one, what's going to happen is that you're going to go up and do a nice knot, just like this one. So it's a combination between this one and that one. So you go outside, you extrude the move outside here, and this is 1.5 points. So 1.5. And again, that's the same move as the previous one. You go up, down, then outside. And you connect to something upward. So down, 2 points, up, back, down, and connect. And you have a nice balance to it. I hope this is clear. The following hat would be, now again, like if you tried this one, I would say this is the hardest, because the next one is simply 2 moves, 1 and 2. And since you did the letter meme, all what you have to do is just make it more vertical than horizontal, and you should be able to do it easily. And again, here it's the letter, the move that you learned here and the move that you did back there. So you should also do this fairly easily. Meanwhile, the last one, it is based on the hat at the beginning of the word. So for this one, again, it connects from the top. You got a letter coming from the top here, whether it was bata, jim, or whatever. And right here, you're gonna do a ya move, which is something we still need to talk about. So you simply go down with 2 curves. And from here, you're gonna do something similar to a ba. Now here, you go outside properly, you go 1.5 points outside, because now you're going to go back with a letter fa, and you're going to continue your word. Now this looks slightly different than the ha at the beginning of the word. For that one, you will find that what we did is that we gave it more elongations, we moved upward with this move, this shape over here is sharper. In a way, this looks, it was contained, you see the top part of the fa, it was contained inside this shape. Meanwhile, here it extrudes outside, as you can see here. So this top shape is actually outside. It starts rotating back here. Meanwhile, in the beginning of the word, it comes inside the hat. Again, let's try and complete this one. So yeah, it is similar to the hat at the beginning of the word. The only difference would be, like there are 3 differences. Number 1 is the beginning is not as pretty or as steep as this one. The second thing would be this shape is actually going downward, just like a bat. Meanwhile, here it goes upward. And again, the fat here is starts outside and rotates outside. So This is the first move, the second move. The third move, moving to the fourth move, which is inside. The transition between the third and the fourth happens outside. Meanwhile, here it happens inside the top part of the first move. Finally, just continue it to the following letter. So, this is the summary for the hats in the middle. Let's start with, for example, a letter hat again. Go up, back down. This is from last time. And we're going to connect it to the first hat that we learned today. Then continue on to connect it to the second one we learned today. Then continue it to the following one we learned today again. This is a bit too high, anyway. Then this one. Oh, I should have actually connected it. So, alright, let's stop it here. And let's take this one. So, for example, we could connect this one to this one. Ooh, the pen is running out of ink. That's nice. And just come back. Connect it to the one that we talked about here, lastly. And yeah, you could just connect it finally to an alif. Yep, the pen is dead. So this is the hat in the middle of the word. I love the letter hat. It has several shapes to it, and they're all interesting. And I would say it is the hardest letter in Thuluth. Requires quite a skillful person to master. It has several shapes to choose from, and yeah, you take your time learning these letters in Thuluth. That's why I'm doing it on purpose, not giving too many lessons on Thuluth, so that people would just not get rushed into it and rush the script rather than learning it properly. So what should you do right now? You should basically start trying writing some words. I mean, for example, Allahumma, for example, Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. So you could start with these these are two lambs. Again, you should scale everything so that you really get your letters correct. Now here we have a hat, so I'm extending this down here. Again, you would typically put your 2 points down here. Well, I might actually hit them, but yeah, don't worry about it. So going back, and then I will need my 3 points up there. So this is 1, 2, and 3. And I need my 1.5 points. Rotate and come back. Again, this should have been longer because I put the dots quite closer to this shape. Stop and come back. Make sure that you've got this small nudge down here. And you could finish it with whatever meme you would like. Let's do this one. For the other hats, you could just use something else. For example, يهرب, escapes. You could use a hat. And you can connect it to whatever hat you got there. So let's try this one. Can't believe how tricky it is to write with this phone, with this angle. Again, with the art, you could choose whatever art you want. I'm going to choose this one. And the dots for the you could have them next to each other, on top of each other. Finally, the bat. Ah, the paper moved. Anyway, practice this combination. Yep, this is for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about Arabic calligraphy, and thank you all for the nice words you've been posting and your nice comments. I really appreciate it. It keeps me posting more. And sorry about my cuts. For example, sometimes I upload and wait for 2 weeks. I get really busy. I've got a full-time job, so it's tricky to make these lessons sometimes, but yeah, I'm determined on just keep making them and yeah, posting these ones. You just have to be patient, and whenever I don't post, just go back and watch a previous video or just practice something that you think that you need to get better at. Anyway, if you need to ask anything, just write your comment down and share this video with your friends who want to learn Arabic calligraphy. This has been Amal Audi. Have a lovely day, evening or night, and stay safe out there. Goodbye.